What's going on, guys? Digidesdan here, and got another pickup video. It's the first of the year, actually, which is fantastic. Didn't do a whole lot of thrifting this week, as always. I know I always say that, but I was super busy this week. But I did happen to come upon some stuff that I can show off to you guys in this video. Not show off, but show you. And some of it's gaming related. Some of it's toy related, some of it's somewhere in between, and I'm super excited about all of them. So, first one is a thrifting pickup. This was actually the very first pickup of the year. We went to a Value Village, and I mentioned in my last video we found some VHS tapes, and this is another VHS tape, but this one's a little bit more nerd related. This is Super Friends. So, Attack of the Legion of Doom. So I'm a big DC guy, very big into Flash, but growing up I watched a lot of Super Friends. So this is basically the Justice League. I don't know when this came out. I'm guessing this cartoon was made like in the 1970s or 80s. But this was a show that I grew up with and I loved a lot. Huge fan of them, especially with the Justice League and the Legion of Doom. You had like Brainiac, Scarecrow, Lex Luthor, Solomon Grundy, all those good, not good guys, but bad guys, versus Batman, Superman, Hawkman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman, all those guys. So super fun, super happy to have this in my collection, my VHS collection. I'll be watching it and reminiscing about the good old days of when I first got into DC superheroes. Next pickup was another thrifting find. It was actually a surprising thrifting find. It was found at Goodwill. It is this Nerf gun. It's a Nerf Rapid Strike CS18. So this is a fully motorized Nerf gun. You can still get this one in a retail store for about $55, like at Toys R Us or something. I think with the price match you can maybe get for like $30 something, but at Goodwill they had it with the box and everything. It's nearly brand new. It works perfectly for $20. It's $19.99. And what's also a bonus is it came with all 18 darts. Actually I might be missing a couple because I was playing with it earlier, but it came with 18 darts initially. So it takes 4 C batteries. Hit this and just shoot. So that's very cool. I haven't had a Nerf gun in a while, and this is a great one to have, especially on a cheaper budget or a cheaper price. Next thrifting find, also from Goodwill. This is kind of a game. It's Settlers of Catan. So it's a board game. If you haven't played this board game, it's very fun. It allows for 4 people to play, but there's also an expansion that allows 5 to 6 players. We got it for $7 or $8. It normally retails for about $50. A lot of the time it'll go on sale for about $30 or $40. But $8 isn't bad. But yeah, this is an extremely fun game to play, especially if you're just getting into like tabletop board games. If you want to get into more advanced stuff, this is kind of like the gateway into it. Super fun. I highly recommend it. Go check it out. Definitely worth the $40 or $50 for it, because every game is different. I don't know if this is officially licensed, but I found this Bowser here. It's like a little, I would say 4-inch Bowser. There's not a whole lot of detail on it. He's kind of got that wonky face. The paint apps are alright. It's not perfectly detailed or anything, but it does resemble something that would come from like the 1980s or the 1990s regarding Nintendo toys. So this one was $5. It was made in China. That made in China sticker actually leans me towards this being some sort of knockoff, but it does say Bowser trademark and Nintendo on the foot. I don't think you'll be able to see that on there next to like the black streak, but that's what it says there. I've only been able to find one other one on eBay, and they have it listed at $44. I don't think that's the actual value, but still cool piece. I can have it next to my super ugly, ceramic Mario, and yeah, I mean, still cool thing to have. My uncle, who I actually grew up gaming with, he actually helped me beat Super Mario World when I was a lot younger. Every single time I got through the game and got up to Bowser, I would have him come and beat it for me. And when the GameCube and the Xbox came out, he picked up both, and I played Luigi's Mansion for the first time on there. And with the Xbox, I played Halo for the first time on his Xbox because he got it at launch. And he got he heard that I was actually into game collecting, and I'm doing this whole channel about pickups and taking this hobby to the next level. And he decided he's not using any of his games anymore. He decided to donate his Xbox to me. So I saw him over the holidays, and he was like, "Hey, since you're doing game collecting, do you want my Xbox?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll take it," because I actually don't have one of these original Xboxes yet. I have the Halo edition, but I do not have a standard launch Xbox. So I remember playing Halo on this every morning before school, because I would go over to his house while my parents were going to work, and then he would take me to school. So this is a very cool piece to have. I don't have it yet, and it was donated to me by my uncle, who supports my my hobby, my passion, and that's great. It's got a story behind it. I've got history with this system, and it brings a little bit more sentimental value to it. So this is a great pickup here. All right, next pickup is also kind of a donation. One of my friends in the Seattle Retro Gaming group, I helped him pick up a pinball machine late one night, and he decided that he wanted to repay me in some form or whatever. And he was able to find a game that I didn't have, or he actually just offered a few games, and I could just pick and choose. And I ended up choosing Street Fighter 2 Turbo for Super Nintendo. So this is a version of Street Fighter 2 that I don't have yet. I have Street Fighter 2, the original vanilla copy, and then Super Street Fighter 2. And this one slipped through the cracks somehow. I just couldn't find it for a reasonable price, or just anywhere. It's either one or the other versions. And he happened to have this one up for grabs, and instead of taking a Breath of Fire 2, which he offered me, which I already have, I decided to take this one for my collection instead. Alright, so the last pickup this video is probably, I don't know, the grand finale of pickups, I guess. 2016, I ended the year with a lot of huge collecting pickups, like the N64 DD. I had a gift from a buddy of mine, Stilo 999, with the Super Scope box, brand new. My fiance got me a Family Computer Mini, the classic one. I happened to get myself an NES Classic, and so on and so forth. There was tons of great pickups that wrapped up the year last year, and I didn't think that I would be able to find anything else that would top those. But 3 days into the year, this is the first week of 2017, and it just so happens that I picked up like one of my holy grail items. Same guy who gave me this Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and he wanted to go attend his very first NFL game. It was playoffs, and he needed to fund some cash to go to that game, because tickets are always crazy expensive for NFL games. And he decided to sell off one piece of his collection that I had to have. So here it is, the Super Nintendo kiosk. This is the countertop model. So they had a few different models, but this one's the countertop. It would just sit on top of like a table or a counter, a glass counter. They have the floor models too, which have their own base, and they stand up about 6-7 feet high. with this on top of it essentially, and games in it, and you could demo games out. So these were only found in, I don't know, like retail stores, or like the dentist's office, I don't know. And you can go in there and you could play games, you could demo them out before you bought them. Essentially, I mean, you can still find that type of stuff at like a Target or Toys R Us. You can go in, you can test out the Wii U. They have a PS4 usually set up, or an Xbox One. But this is what they had when the Super Nintendo came out. What it does, so there's a switch in the back. This light powers on. It says Super Nintendo across, and these are speakers actually. And this case opens up. You can turn on the system, and then you have the picture. As you can see, the picture is a little bit wonky. It's got a vertical rolling. And it kind of flickers here and there. It'll stay like stationary for, you know, a few seconds, and then it'll start rolling again. So this is one of my personal Grail items. So the controllers work. These arms are in great shape. The decals are in great shape. The only issue with this model is there's a slight crack on the top of the light. Unfortunately, there's no way to turn down the volume. Okay. I'll turn that off. But yeah, the monitor is a separate unit. You can turn the monitor on and off separately from the whole rest of the unit. If you turn off the monitor, the speakers still work. And but yeah, this model, this kiosk is in excellent condition. The only issue is there's a small crack at the very top, which is fine because you can't really see it if it's on top of a counter or you're facing it straight on. And then the monitor itself has that rolling issue. Hopefully I'm going to get this monitor recapped, so some of the capacitors replaced, and that might fix the issue. I don't know. Hopefully it does. I'm going to continue, looking for a solution to see if I can get this in perfect working condition. Those are my pickups of this week. This is probably like going to be in the highlights of like my year in terms of pickups, but I'm super excited to have this. Trying to find some room for it right now, and hopefully I can find a good place for it once I do get it working. Yeah, so those were my pickups for this week. Thanks for tuning in. If you did like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I do have a bunch of other videos, gameplay, other pickups, tips. Go check those out. Any view is greatly appreciated, and hopefully I can keep pumping out content for you guys for 2017. Well, we'll see you on the next one.